the guys at Brew Clary, and I wrote many songs. I had a good relationship with Beaumont as well, and I wrote poems. But it's a new generation at Brew Clary now, and I don't do very much with them anymore. But I still do occasional things with Jim McEwen. We're doing something in early November in Bonn together, and Jim's a character, you know. And he invited me to Brew Clary one time because they were going to make special whiskey that was distilled 4 times. And they read about this in an old book from the 17th century, where the guy said, in the islands, the normal whiskey is distilled twice. That's for the women and the children. Then they have the 3 times distilled whiskey for the men. You know. And every once in a while they distill it 4 times. And of course, each time you distill it gets stronger alcohol. And this is called Uisquebaugh, which means it's Gaelic for dangerous or perilous whiskey. And they said, in this book, they said, this is only for very special occasions, because if you had any more than 2 spoonfuls, they didn't say what size of spoonfuls, but if you had any more than 2 spoonfuls, it would stop your breath and endanger your life. So Jim said, let's have a go, see how it turns out. So they invited people from the media, you know, journalists from the BBC and the Sun newspaper, and I was there by invitation. And it was a very interesting day, very interesting. And Jim is a showman, you know, so he was telling these people from the television and the newspapers, nobody ever tried this before. Stay well back, these stills might explode any moment. You know. Even his still man was stepping back all the time. At the end of the day, we were all given a souvenir, a special bottle of new make spirit at 89.9% alcohol. 80. And with a special label, Uisquebaugh, and it was, you know, Brew Clary, and it was signed by the managing director, and off we went with our souvenirs. And the guys from the BBC and the Sun and the other journalists, they all jumped in taxis and they went to the airport. Now, in the airport, they have a special bin for all the stuff that you're not allowed on the plane, you know. The half-finished bottles of Coca-Cola and stuff like that. And they said, you have to leave these bottles here. I said, oh, why? We'll put it in the hold, it's okay. He said, this is hazardous substance, it's not going in the hold, it's not even going in the fuel tank, forget it. So all the bottles of Uisquebaugh ended up in the bin. No. I'm sure the airport staff had a party that night. These are the professional journalists. Me, I'm a penniless songwriter. I was on the ferry. And Caledonia and McBrain, they don't give a shit what you've got in your rucksack. But now I'm the only person in the world with a bottle of Uisquebaugh. And on the ferry I started to write a song. Uisquebaugh, Uisquebaugh, high intensity alcohol, exceedingly risky, it's perilous whiskey. One sip, you'll stumble and fall. Uisquebaugh is 4 times distilled. Some say it cures, some say it kills. Take my advice and make out a will before you drink Uisquebaugh. Take 1 sip, don't take a second. It packs more punch than ever you reckoned. You'll spin in the wind like the coy wrecking with dangerous Uisquebaugh. Uisquebaugh, Uisquebaugh, high intensity alcohol, exceedingly risky, it's perilous whiskey. 1 sip, you'll stumble and fall. The island of Islay has numerous wrecks, mostly from flinging it over their necks. And now here's a dram that's better than sex, 4 times Uisquebaugh. For this is the stuff to put out your lights. It kicks, it bites, it's like kryptonite. You can lie on the floor, but you have to hold tight. You're spinning with Uisquebaugh. Uisquebaugh, Uisquebaugh, high intensity alcohol, exceedingly risky, it's perilous whiskey. 1 sip, you'll stumble and fall. facing the end of final ruin, and cursing poor Jim McEwen, 'cause you're on the losing side. Oh, you're on the losing side. One spoonful, your heart's beating fast. 2 spoonfuls, you're feeling quite gassed. 3 spoonfuls, you've breathed your last. You're in the past, oh what a blast. Uisquebaugh, Uisquebaugh, Uisquebaugh. High intensity, 17th century, savage ferocity, super velocity. Wonderful Uisquebaugh, wonderful Uisquebaugh, wonderful Uisquebaugh. So I've done a few gigs in Germany with Jim, and there's always something